You've been played by men for years, obeying the rules of love with no success. Aren't you tired of sitting on the sidelines, waiting to get some playing time, always on the roster but never coming off the bench? It's time for you to coach your own dream team. You want a championship ring? You ready to win at the game of love? Then it's time to get in the game. What's up, guys? Welcome to Get in the Game, the single girl's guide to building a dream team and getting that championship ring, winning at the game of love. Feel me? Are y'all ready to coach a team and win, build a team and get a ring? I hope you are, because I am. I am ready to have me. I'm limiting myself to 5 players just so I don't come off like too much of a hoe. But if I could date like 10 different men right now, I would. I'm ready to really get out here and enjoy my life and have a good ass time the way these men do. This is episode 3, y'all. And let's see, we've already talked about just in general what it means to have a team. And why I had this philosophy that every single woman should be dating 5-minute once. We've also gone over coaching techniques and figuring out your strengths and weaknesses and knowing what kind of coach you are. And today, y'all, is the fun part. We're going to actually talk about building the team, putting the roster together, getting the players on board, right? Because that is the key to all of this. It's one thing to talk about it and talk a good game, but it's time to now build the team and play the game. Today's episode is sponsored by the 125 Collection. Gotta shout them out. And I'm also sponsored by Inspiring Lives Apparel. I'll tell you a little more about them later. But thanks to them. Also, thank you, of course, to the most fantastic producer in the world, Ty Hill, who is like the little brother I've never wanted, but I can't get rid of him. He's there. But he's amazing when it comes to music and producing, so I'm so happy to have somebody like Ty on my team as a cheerleader on the sidelines. He cheers me on. He's one of my biggest supporters in my career, and I appreciate that. But we'll get on all of that stuff with cheerleaders and stuff in another episode in the future. Today, we're talking about building this damn team. So let me start by saying, I just want to remind y'all, I don't know shit about basketball, really, other than the basics. Believe it or not, I actually played basketball in elementary school, and I had kind of forgotten about that. I was on the basketball team at St. Thomas the Apostle Elementary Catholic School, and our colors were green and white. Kelly Green, by the way, and the team was called the Raiders. We were the St. Thomas Raiders, and I was the captain of the cheerleading team, but I also played on the basketball team, the girls' basketball. And I don't know what position I played. I think I was a forward. I know I wasn't no shooting guard or nothing because I couldn't really play. I just wanted to be on the team. But so that was in elementary school, so my knowledge of basketball is very elementary. And I'm a general fan like everybody else. When the playoffs are going on, I want to watch. And if my team, the Chicago Bulls, where I'm from, the best team in the world, if they're in the playoffs, I pay attention. But other than that, I don't really know much. I have a very basic, elementary working knowledge of basketball. But that's all I really need to play the game the way I want to play it. But I do think it's important that we all know the players and the roles that they play on a team if we're really going to be coaches in dating, okay? But since I don't know much about basketball, I've been doing a little research. And for starters, we all know that basketball is a team sport. You got 5 players. And so that's why we're focusing on building our teams, a 5-member team. Some of y'all probably scared and might want to do a 3-on-3 or a 2-on-2 or a 1-on-1. We'll get to that eventually. Every team is going to start off with 5 players, if you're going to join in on this with me. And eventually we'll work our way down. But, you know, I just think we got to be conscious of what each position does if we're going to be building a team that can win. All right. And so let's see. Another thing I want to tell you all. I didn't know this, but just to set the tone, the game of basketball was invented in 1891 by a man named Dr. James Naismith. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Ty just told me it's Naismith. All right. Well, he created this game back in 1891. He's actually a Canadian. He was a physical education teacher, and he was trying to keep his gym class occupied and not so bored while it was raining. So he, on a whim, got like a soccer ball and put a basket up on a wall and created this game. Like, isn't that crazy? This is in 1891, and now look at what it's become. He didn't even know that this thing would become what it is. And he definitely didn't think that one day a chick like me would be talking about the game of basketball in relation to how women can date like coaches of teams. So that's crazy. He almost called it Naismith Ball, whatever, however you say his name. The game was almost named after his name, but he decided to call it basketball instead, and lucky for us. Because if not, this would be called Get in the Naismith game. And we didn't want that. That's horrible. So look, we're building teams, and I really put a lot of thought into what kind of players I want on my roster, right? Because this is serious business, y'all. The game of basketball is big business. It's very strategic. It's just not all willy-nilly where you just put random people on a team and expect them to play. This is not a pickup game in the hood on your neighborhood basketball court. We are in the majors right now, y'all, okay? And I know if you're like me and have had some terrible times dating, this whole concept can be a little overwhelming. But that's why I'm here to help you, walk you through this process. I've been researching positions, and I know that the 5 positions we're going to have is a small forward, a shooting guard, a center, a power forward, point guard, and 6th man and the 7th man coming off the bench. Okay. Now, I know that typically the tallest and strongest players on a team are the center and the power forward. I also know the shorter players that are small, a little more agile, tend to be the small forward. And then the shortish players that tend to have like the best ball handling skills are the point guard and the shooting guard. So that's just loosely to keep that in mind, that your tallest and strongest are your center and your power forward. Shorter players are small forward. They're more agile. And then that the shortest of them all, but they got good ball handling skills, are your point guard and your shooting guard, okay? I hope y'all taking notes because we about to dig in here. So I've decided with building my team that my small forward is going to be like the corporate dude, because I love me a white collar, just smart, corporate, go to work every day, make nice money kind of guy. My NBA inspiration for this particular position is a LeBron James. So if I had LeBron on my team and he would be my franchise player, he's my corporate dude. He's an all-around player. He can score, he can pass, and he can rebound. And out of all the men I'm dating, his resume is the most impressive. The thing is, he's in high demand. He's a young black dude. He's successful. He's extremely attractive. He's well-educated, and he's cultured. The perfect guy to build my team around. Unfortunately, he's aware that he's a good catch and will use it to his advantage. Like most franchise players, my corporate dude, he knows his value. He's a bit of a prima donna and will most certainly demand a good contract on the open market. It is also hard to re-sign him when he becomes a free agent because a franchise player has the confidence that he will probably not be traded or released, which can make dating him difficult. But as long as he's aware that there's always a new young recruit coming to take his spot, we should be cool. Also, I will have to make sure that I am his franchise player as well on the team that he's building. Because trust me, he has one. Every man, from the most fly guy to the most raggedy Negro on the planet, has a team. They're building teams. They got a squad of bitches around at all times, okay? I don't care. Even the nerdiest quiet guy is 5 bitches in his phone on rotation that he texts and talks to, trying to figure out what position he can put them in. And if you're going to have this franchise player, which for me is a small forward, my corporate dude, you may have another way you want to go about doing it, but that guy that knows every woman wants him on his team, they can be difficult. They know their worth. And it's important that you don't waste time giving too much to a guy if he's your franchise player, but you not his. We don't want that. Next, I got my shooting guard. And for me, my shooting guard is going to be a young tender, a little young dude, because I love, Now, for me, young, now we talking about early 30s. I don't mean I want some little high schooler. Not at all. So for my shooting guard, my NBA inspiration is like a Dwayne Wade when he first got in the league, or a Kobe Bryant, maybe even an Allen Iverson, a shooting guard. He shoots, he scores. He's young and tender. You can call me a cougar. You can call me a puma. I think women my age are more so pumas. Call me whatever you want, but all single women should have a younger man that's on her team. He shoots. Young tender is fun. He's exciting. He's baggage free, and he is not intimidated by your success. He scores. The sex with young tender is amazing, and he doesn't know. What he doesn't know, he's willing to learn. And that's what I like. Somebody that's willing to be taught and understand that they don't have all the answers. There's no waiting for him to get it back up. If you having sex with him, it's on multiple times in one night. Because, as you get with these older guys, you get one good time for the night. But the young dude, just to be nasty for a minute, because this is between us, this is a girlfriend podcast. Some of these young dudes are nut and they stay hard and they keep going. And that's exciting. It's like, yeah. Because I'm at the right age where I'm, really wanting to do it. And we match on up with a dude that's young and spry. Another plus is that he can keep you occupied sexually so that you're not tempted to give it up to the other members of the team too fast. Because the truth of the matter is, your shooting guard, the young tender, he ain't probably going to ever really be your franchise player. More than likely, you're not going to get in anything too serious with him for the long haul. He's for fun, to kick it with and have a ball, right? So if you want to keep the other players acting right, you can't get him no coochie. Or if you do, you gotta wait a while. So young tender is who you can be getting it in with and having a ball. And he could just be twisting you and turning you all kind of ways. Y'all go to Jamaica for a week and he fucking you in the back of a cabana somewhere. I don't know. But for me, That's what I want. My youngin', my boo, my baby. So we can have some fun. Now, we're going to move on to the center. Now, for me, my center is my sugar daddy, okay? And my NBA inspiration for that is Dwight Howard. Ooh, I would love him to be my sugar daddy. Sugar daddy ain't got to be a dude that's older than you. Sugar daddy can be a little younger than you, too, but he got sugar. He take care of you because he your daddy. He daddy. So yeah, he's a center. Now, when it comes to basketball, we all know you can't coach height, which means that some of these guys, the only reason why they are in the league and get any playing time at all is because they tall as hell. Same for the sugar daddy. You mess with him for one reason only. He has money and he loves to spend it. As the center, a sugar daddy is low maintenance. You don't have to run plays for him or give him the ball too much, but he will rebound, contribute by playing defense, and getting the hustle points and second chance points. If a bill needs to be paid or my car needs new tires, sugar daddy will come to the rescue. I would never ask him to shoot any free throws, but yes to a jump ball. My sugar daddy is a foundation and anchor for the team. He keeps me financially happy. So there you have it. Sugar daddies are my center. They're the center of my universe. But you got to think about what you want for your team. Because every woman is going to have a different type of person in those positions. I'm just giving you the lineup the way I see fit for the team that I'm building for the championship ring that I want. Okay? But you got to do your things your way, coach. Now, next we got power forward. Now, for me, a power forward is a blue-collar dude, a.k.a. a basic nigga, all right? Now, I ain't going to use the N-word too much in this podcast. I'm trying to be professional and keep sponsors, but it is what it is. So I'll say a basic Negro. You know, a dude, a grown-ass man, a real ass dude. My NBA inspiration for this is Kevin Garnett. I know that's like probably an old school reference, but I don't know something about him. I don't know much about him. I just remember watching him play, and he just seems like he's just a grown-ass man. Even Charles Barkley, even though he gets on my last nerves when he talks. And, but Charles Barkley seemed like he could take care of you. And he seems like he on some grown man shit. But then also I'm thinking like Serge Ibaka. That's my boo. Like, yes. Woo, that man's so fine. He speaks so many different languages, so he can, you know, teach you some things. Okay, so my blue collar guy, he's a hard hat, lunch bucket kind of guy. He comes to work every day. He gives you solid effort. He is going to put in the work and not complain. The blue-collar guy gets the rebounds. He plays defense. He's not flashy, just an all-around hard-working guy. I love this guy because he's also great for things that I call man jobs. He takes out the garbage. He fixes things around the house. He takes your car in to go get his service. He'll scream on you if you don't get that oil change. He's a real man. He works so hard that you love to cook for him, and you make him an amazing meal because you know he deserves it and he is worthy. Now, look, in real life, a FedEx guy is great for this kind of position. But this summer, as I'm building my team, I think I might put a police officer in this position. Every single chick should have a police officer in her city that she can call anytime she needs to be served and protected, if you know what I mean. Many of you may even choose this guy to be your franchise player because he is sure to retire with a pension and some good benefits. But because this guy is not as culturally aware sometimes as the corporate dude, therefore I'll keep him as a backup plan. Also, for clarification, if a guy does not have a checking account and he prefers to go to the check cashing place, he then becomes a basic ass Negro. Okay, so like I said, my corporate dude is my franchise player. That's who I think I would want to be with for the long haul. So that's me. But the blue collar dude, that's the second choice for me. Because that's what my dad is. My daddy is a blue collar guy. My parents have been married for, about 48, 49 years. And my father, even to this day, for me, takes my car to get an oil change. He takes it to get the emissions tests. He'll fill it up with gas. Growing up, when my brother and I were in elementary school, my daddy in the winters would get up out of bed. He worked nights, but he would get up early in the morning, warm the car up, clean it off all the snow and everything, get it all off. And my mom and brother and I would walk outside to a clean, warm car. My mother never had to lift a finger. My mama ain't never took the garbage out. She doesn't know how to do a oil change anywhere. She don't even know how to take her car, go get a sticker for her own car. So I was raised by this kind of man. And so I mean no disrespect when I say they're a basic ass dude, because the basics are the best. I'll tell you that. All right, now, point guard time. For me, I like an intellectual thug to be my point guard. And my NBA inspiration is like Chris Paul or Allen Iverson. Because I love smart men, but I also love thugs. It's hard to find a guy with the perfect mix, but when I do, he'll be my point guard. Ultimately, I want to settle down with a guy that can run a boardroom as well as navigate the streets. The point guard is my main focus, and out of all the guys, has the most potential to probably become my boyfriend. His job is to set the tempo for the game, bring the ball up the floor, get the other players involved, distribute the ball, and get scoring opportunities for the team. Sometimes he scores, but no matter what, he must keep the ball safe and not turn it over. He must totally understand his coach's game plan. Seeing that the point guards are usually evaluated more on their assists than on their individual scoring, if he cannot get the job done, his behavior will get the ball to the teammate who is the best position to score. At the same time, if he plays well, in the long run, there will be no need for a team because I will settle down with him. But until then, let the games begin. All right. I think most women like a guy with a little street in him, a little thug. But I need you to be smart. You can't be no dumbass thug that's always getting caught for, bullshit. Every time I look around, you get locked up or got to go away for a while. I want somebody that, like that Destiny's Child song, I need a soldier that's, in the streets. He can get down, but he's making power moves. And I don't know, something about that is very sexy and attractive. Now, that's our 5 major players. But we can't forget about the bench, okay? The 6th man. For me, the 6th man is a straight-up street hustler, or as I like to say, a hood rat dude with a big dick. Yes, men can be hood rats too. My NBA inspiration is Jamal Crawford. This guy is a one-trick pony in a lot of ways. His role is to come off the bench when you need to change the game and score in a hurry. You can count on him for that. Above and beyond else, he knows how to handle the ball. And, I just think having a 6th man is sexy. When all else fails, when your center acting stupid and talking about his money funny and he ain't got that money for that cell phone bill, and when your young tender, your shooting guard ain't scoring because he got other shit to do, you need that 6th man. You need him. You need him. Also a 7th man. Hey, forget it. Get you a 7th man. We ain't playing by no rules here. For me, my NBA inspiration for a 7th man is Steve Kerr. More than likely, my 7th man is going to be my white boy. I'm not saying that other positions couldn't be a white man too. I don't know. Equal opportunity. But I really think my 7th man will be a cute little white boy. And let's see, he's a solid Hall of Fame player and has all the skills and abilities. Unfortunately, people don't like him or enjoy watching him play because he's very basic and fundamental. The seventh guy is boring. This is the dude that's way, way deep on the bench, and you really only pull him out and call him out if you really need him. Maybe, I don't know, like a Tim Duncan. I don't know what Tim Duncan's game was like, but I just know as a person when I watch him in interviews, he's boring as hell. But he seems very, reliable. And if you pull him in the game and call him in, he'll do what he needs to do. So, okay, guys, we're going to take a break right here. I think I gave you enough to, ponder over. But I think it's important that every woman builds her own kind of team, And you decide what kind of players you want and how you're going to assign them their roles on your team. Remember, you got to know what kind of coach you are first. And certain coaches can only handle certain kinds of players. So be mindful of that while you putting people on your roster. And with that said, we'll take a break for the halftime report and we'll be back. Today's halftime report is brought to you by the 125 Collection, a lifestyle brand created in NYC, based in Harlem, that fuses fun, style, and individuality in their products. Constantly inspired by the city they love, the 125 Collection is a destination for fashion-forward individuals who celebrate self-expression and style. For more information, check out the125collection.com. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Inspiring Lives Apparel, a full-time casual apparel company that offers branded and custom pieces for infants and adults. Check them out online at Inspiring Lives Apparel. All right, y'all, we are back, and I hope that little break gave you some time to start thinking about your team and all the positions that are on the team and how you're going to, set your roster up. But let me tell you, I just want to make sure you understand, ladies, we're not building any old kind of team. Like I said, this ain't a team on a pickup game in your neighborhood, little ghetto park. This ain't a team for a little, white men can't jump type 3-on-3 situation. This is a dream team. Do you understand what a dream team is? I know if you're around my age, I'm not going to say what my age is, but if you're around my age and you know who you are, you remember the original dream team. It was the 1992 Olympics, and it was the U.S. basketball team. Many consider it to be the greatest team that was ever assembled in sports, period. And it was the first time the Olympic U.S. team had ever used players from the NBA on the squad. So it was a big deal. This team had Michael Jordan on it, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexel. Are you listening? This was the dream team. And that is the team we are building, ladies. If you real talk, you've been played by these dudes, you're tired of the bullshit, and you're trying to start to do something different for yourself. Because see, the other style of dating is all about them. Remember when we were little kids and it was like the boys, the horny little boys outnumbered the girls. And we could just push men to the side. We didn't want to be bothered with them. It was like, I don't like you, boy. You a boy and you stinky and you nasty and your nose is running. I don't like you. And they were constantly on you. But the tables turn as we get older. A lot of these dudes are locked up in jail. Some of them may be gay and prefer, don't want a woman. Others are just not on your level. So the pickings are slim to what's available to those of us that are really ready and willing and open to love. And we are competing amongst each other. We're going about it all wrong. It's all about him and making sure you do right so that he don't fuck with her and that he gonna call you and all that kind of bull. No, this situation, if you building a dream team, you putting together a squad of dudes that are to your liking, that meet your qualifications, that can be on your roster so that you can get the best results. And a dream team is some real shit. These are the best of the best. Why would you want a squad full of second string dudes? You want first round draft picks. We want dudes that are ready to go to the championship. We want guys that can afford to buy a goddamn ring. Okay? As we're putting our squads together, we got the 5 players we want. I want to talk to you just quickly about what we don't want on our team. The first kind of guy you don't want on your team is a dude that tells you that your standards are too high, that you high maintenance, that you asking for too much and you want too much. We don't want those kind of dudes anymore. I know I don't. I was out one day minding my business driving. I had stopped at the gas station to get some gas, and it was this really nice looking guy that had he was at the other side of the pump. He had pulled up and he saw me and I saw him, and he saw me and I saw him, and was like, man, what's up? And he was like, how you doing? And we talked for a brief moment. Now, if he was really on some real shit, he should have bought my gas for me, okay? But anywho, I digress. Yeah, so we're talking, and he's like, well, let me get your number. We exchanged numbers, and he was like, yeah, so, man, maybe, I'm going to call you. I'm going to hit you up. Maybe I can come through later. And I said, come through what? And he was like, come through. I'm going to come through your crib or whatever, and we hang out. And I said, excuse me? You want to come to my house tonight? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to call you later. I'm going to come through. And I was like, you can't come over my you I was like, you can call me and we can talk later. I was like, maybe you can take me out to dinner or something next week. But no, you're not coming over my house. And he was like, oh, I see what you on. You on that bullshit. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I really thought he was playing. He's like, man, you on that bullshit. Well, what you want to be wine and dine and shit? Well, what you want that monogamy, commitment type shit? Well, what you on that old high maintenance bourgeoisie? He actually said bourgeoisie, which really impressed me. But you on that bourgeoisie shit? I see what you want, but what you want, that marriage and commitment? What you want a nigga to court you? That old school shit? Like, the dude was offended. He was bothered because I had standards. And mind you, my standards weren't what he does for a living or how much money he makes or any degrees. It was purely, no, damn it, you can't come over my house. You can't come through. And I just met you at the gas station at a Citco for all purposes. We weren't even at a damn Mobile. You get your gas from the cheap watered down gas. Anyway. So no more of these dudes that tell us that what we want is high maintenance and that we're too much for them. That's some bullshit. That's because they don't measure up. Also, for me, number 2, no more broke dudes. And judge me if you want, I don't care. My girlfriends that are Jewish, my girlfriends that are Polish, my girlfriends that are Italian, meaning my white girlfriends, they have that as a prerequisite as far as the amount of money a guy's gonna make. And these bitches be picking out they damn rings and the carat and the cut and don't even have a prospect. Like, oh my God, like, yeah, like, he has to have money. He has to be, employed and doing well. Yeah. So why can't I have that standard? They make it seem like black women, we gotta just pick from the muck and the mire and be happy with any old body. Now, mind you, I didn't say a rich guy. I don't even mean a dude with a lot of money. As long as he can be self-sufficient and take care of himself and be happy with who he is. That's what I'm talking about. So don't judge me like, she all about the money. No, I done been with broke-ass brokes. I don't want no more. Broke-ass brokes are a joke. I need a guy that's doing well for himself based on whatever standards he set and happy. Because a dude that can't afford to eat, mean he can't afford to take baths, which means he can't afford to brush his teeth, which means he can't afford a dentist, which means So no. Number 3, no more dudes for me that are bad in bed. I've had my share. Now, at one time, I had a streak of winning streak. Like, everybody had a big dick. Everybody was good, great stamina, amazingness. My last 2 or 3 before I started this whole, dating a dream team, I picked some losers. They told me my what I wanted was high maintenance. They were broke and they couldn't fuck. So lose. These dudes are horrible. And I dated a guy for a short time. And when we finally started having sex, he used to scream every time he would come. He would literally bust one and be like, he would scream. And now, mind you, ladies, listen. Everybody say they pussy good. And my pussy good. I got the man's pussy, my pussy good. I got the man, the. Okay, I get it. My pussy ain't that good. For somebody to be screaming when they come? No, he was a nutball. He was crazy. And I'm telling you, he would scream at the top of his lungs to the point where I would look back and be like, I thought somebody was killing him. Somebody had broke in on us while we was fucking. No, dude was just crazy. No more being able to do it, guys. Number 4, no more people with personality disorders, okay? Because of the way of the world, where these dudes are out here, they've been abandoned by their mamas, they don't know who their daddies are, broken homes, drug addiction, all this kind of crazy stuff throughout their families. These dudes got a lot of personality disorders, and namely narcissistic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. A lot of the stuff that these guys are out here doing where they can't commit, sexual addictions, bouncing from woman to woman to woman, looking for a woman to be like their mama, to take the place of a mama because they never had one. All these things where they're abusive, verbally, physically. These dudes are disordered and will say, oh, well, that's girl, a man is being a man when he's cheating and a serial cheater and, rotating a bunch of women and lying at everybody and all this craziness. And we accept it as just basic guy behavior, and he'll grow out of it. Or that feeling of a guy has to put you through years of shit and turmoil, and then he finally realizes he loved you because you were a soldier and you done held out and ride or die. No, that's some bullshit. Let me tell you, these online videos, these things that go viral with these proposals where the guy gets down on one knee and does this big spectacle and everybody's videotaping it, and then he pulls the ring out and she's crying and, oh my God, I can't believe it. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God. That lets me know, depending on how many thank you Jesuses and hopping up and down and covering the mouth, depending on how long that whole thing runs, lets me know how many bitches he done cheated on her with. Because people in solid, good relationships, he's confident, he knows he's going to propose. You know the proposal coming because you know you amazing and he love you. And you're like, yes, I will. I love you. Y'all kiss, you hug, go about your business. All this falling out like, oh my God, a ring. That lets me know he ain't shit. He done put you through shit and you done went crazy as shit. No more men with NPD or BDP. Well, I'll go over that on another podcast about these crazy personality disorders, because my last ex, he is narcissistic personality disorder to a T, a malignant a narcissist, and he's cuckoo. Lastly, no more insecure men. I'm done with that. I'm done with having to dim my light so the guy can feel like he's shining, having to not be my full amazing self for fear that it will make him feel intimidated. I date guys that when they come see me perform on stage, then they don't want to date me anymore because it takes a lot. Being a comedian is in a lot of ways a very masculine type of profession. And getting on stage and making people laugh and speaking your truth and getting a room full of people to be on board with you is a lot for most men to handle. But no matter what we do, the wrong man is never going to be fully secure with you. You could be a damn whatever. I don't want to insult anybody's job, but this is not just people with high-functioning, six-figure or more jobs. Women that are out here hustling and barely making it, and the wrong dude will still be intimidated by them. And I'm not putting up with the shit anymore. So when I'm building my team, it will be full of very confident men who have been loved in their life by their families, have great relationships with their moms, love their daddies, have their sisters and brothers' backs, just very healthy, loving family relationships that work hard, take care of themselves, make good money, are great in bed, and ultimately have what it takes to be able to handle a woman like me. And that's what's going to be on my squad. I hope you all really think seriously about this and figure out what kind of men you want around you from this point on. And put your list together of deal breakers and things that you're no longer dealing with. Because remember, guys, you the coach, baby. You running this. You're deciding who gets playing time and who doesn't. You are in control of who is on that roster, who's going to play, and who is not. That's your job, baby. And if you're not strategic about it, if you're not honest with yourself about what your needs are and what you want, you will have a losing team. And ultimately, you'll lose. And ladies, we are here to win. I'll see you next time.